people see it as historical. Others see it as a lethal danger to both people and wildlife. The Bloede Dam sits on the Patapsco River and is part of the Patapsco Valley State Park. It is a relic, and come 2016, it'll be gone.
And when it is, most of the Patapsco will be restored to its natural flow into the Chesapeake Bay. A revival, some say, is long overdue. It is useless. It has been for 90 years. Bloede Dam is situated on the Patapsco River and sits in the way of the more modern conservation efforts now laser-focused on our waterways and bay.
We've completed a feasibility study, and then in addition to that, we're in the design phase for the removal.
So this is going to happen at some point?
That's correct.
It will be sometime in 2016. Mary Andrews with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says it will be done partly with explosives, but mostly by dismantling. All of it designed to restore the Patapsco. Bloede Dam used to have a purpose. Built in 1906, it was a revolutionary design housing the turbines in the wall that powered both Catonsville and parts of Baltimore.
It was a very unique dam design for the time. However, because the turbines were inside the dam, water could no longer flow into the turbines with sediment coming down the river. While
a new idea at the time, not a smart one. It provided power for less than 20 years, was shuttered, and for nearly a century now has been nothing more than a waterfall. A relic claiming lives at an alarming rate. This scene is from August 2013 when a swimmer drowned in the dam's undertow. It happened again this past 4th of July when the body of 27-year-old Alvaro Ordonez of Chevrolet was pulled from the water a day after jumping in.
We've had three people pass away in the waters here below this dam in the last, I believe, last 4 years.
Ranger Rob Dyke has to keep a close eye on this part of the Patapsco Valley State Park. Despite plenty of signs, people will swim in the area of this old dam and even use it as a water slide.
There's an undertow and there's rocks, so when people jump or slide off of there, you don't know what's underneath the surface of the water.
Bloede Dam is not only a danger to swimmers using this park, migratory fish populations have fallen to critical lows as well.
Of all the ladders in the state, this is by far the worst one to keep open.
Jim Thompson is a biologist for the state's fisheries service and maintains the fish ladder, the long tunnel contraption built in the 90s to pass migratory fish, a population environmentalists argue is crucial to bay health. You can see how damaged and blocked it can get after a heavy rain event, between protective screens falling off into the water and debris that clogs the entrance. Thompson says it is rarely effective in getting fish up past the first of 4 dams in the Patapsco to spawn upriver.
It does pass fish. It has passed some resident fish, but it's not passing the fish we built it for, which are mainly herring and hickory shad.
What does that mean?
It means these fish are below the dam, but they can't use it. They're not using the ladder.
You're the ghost of dam future.
Right. The ghost of River's future.
River's future. So this is what Bloede's Dam is going to look like. This was Simpkins Dam?
Yeah, this is the former impoundment of the Simpkins Dam. And what you're seeing here, the riffles and the cobble and just the whispering water is exactly what you're going to see at the Bloede Dam site.
Serena McLean is the director of river restoration at American Rivers, a nonprofit helping to lead the charge in dam removal along the Patapsco. Here is where Simpkins Dam once stood. Built in the 1800s, it helped power a textile mill. It was removed in part with federal funding in 2011. Union Dam, just up the river, was done quite the same way in 2009. Next up will be Bloede. It being the first and largest along the river, it is the linchpin to any ecological restoration. A giant step toward restoring the 65 miles of Patapsco River for safe recreation and fish passage.
In 2016 is when you're going to see part of that dam come down.
Is that going to be an exciting day for you?
It's going to be a really exciting day. I'm overly emotional and overly sensitive. I tend to get teary at these kinds of things, but whatever. It's cool enough. I'm going to own it.
You're saying let's slow down and realize the history we have in our own backyard.
Exactly. Let's try to accomplish both goals.
Lisa Wingate is a historic preservationist, arguing we do just that before pulling out all these dams. 3 of the 4 were built in the early 1800s to power old textile mills, often the last thing standing, signifying the Patapsco River Valley's crucial role in the American Industrial Revolution. These dams powered mills which provided work, which provided housing, and built for the first time communities along this river. A history all but washed away these days. One Wingate doesn't feel should keep structures like Daniels Dam near Ellicott City in place, but should be documented for education about who we are and when we settled.
It's a shame to have everything obliterated without making any kind of a permanent record of it, without having documentation, without having physical remains to refer to.
Like here at the Simpkins or Thistle Mill Dam. Now removed, only parts of the structure's foundation remain. Not a mention of the settlement that once stood here and its role in the Industrial Revolution. A mistake Wingate is fighting not to make with Bloede Dam, arguing to at least keep a small part of the dam erected as a nod to our past and the engineering of the time. A design the river restoration effort just might accommodate.
Make sure when future visitors come to the Bloede Dam, they'll see signage or cool ways to kind of interpret what was there. And so they'll still have the ability to learn about, at least in terms of settlement of this region and the Industrial Revolution, what that actually meant.
Now, the people moving forward with the Bloede's dam removal will have a public open house in November to discuss design plans. In the fall of 2015, a sewage line that runs along the side of the dam will be removed. 2016 is when Bloede's dam will finally come down. Now, that will still leave Daniels Dam on the northern end of that section of the Patapsco. It, too, will be studied for removal in the coming years.